Senator Matt Gaetz recently resigned from his seat in the Senate to join Trump's cabinet as the new attorney general. But after he failed to be confirmed in that spot, he's now making headlines once again as he leaves governance behind entirely to join the One America News Network as a host.
So there's a little background information to understand here. Gaetz was a senator, and during his time as a senator, there were some allegations thrown at him. Not particularly good things, but things we can't talk openly about here on YouTube. A nearly 3-year investigation turned up nothing and declared him good to go, but there was a report made about the investigation by the House Ethics Committee.
Yeah, and I think liberals and sort of, rhinos alike have been wanting this report unsealed so that Gaetz will stop making waves within the Senate. Most people kind of attribute him to the ousting of Speaker McCarthy from his role as the leader of the Senate earlier this year, which means he kind of has some pretty powerful enemies. And I think they were hoping that unsealing the report would force Gaetz out of the Senate, period.
Yeah, they got their wish, and he left on his own accord. But this time, to pursue an even higher office, the left completely freaked out over this, worrying that Gaetz would be a hardcore loyalist and potentially use the Justice Department to go after enemies and people who broke the law against Trump. But public opinion rules above all, and the very mention of a dirty ethics report demanded he be withdrawn for consideration for Attorney General.
Yeah, so he's kind of in a rough spot now. So he's got no Senate seat. He already resigned. He's got no shot at a place in the cabinet. He's out of a job entirely. And now that he's no longer a senator, the ethics report that kind of doomed him actually can't be released. But who came in to save the day for Gaetz? That's right. It's One America News Network, because honestly, when you fail in Washington, it's only ever really a promotion. Ben, I'm sure you've seen before Matt Gaetz speaking, but do you think he has that kind of on-screen charm to transition out of politics and into media?
Well, I'll ask a different question. I think the question is less, does he have the camera presence, and more, does he have the popularity to draw an audience? Because you can learn to be more charismatic on camera, but if people like you, then you'll have an audience, and that would be a good thing for OAN. So what are your thoughts on that portion of it?
Yeah, I think that he is right on the policy in a lot of ways. He's a big MAGA guy. He's sort of in that inner circle of MAGA senators that have caused a lot of waves. And so he is kind of seen as an inner circle tribal kind of guy. And so I think MAGA people are going to follow him. But honestly, he's kind of got this slimy kind of look to him a little bit that, I don't know that, particularly after these ethical concerns have been brought up, I feel just a little bit gross about him. And maybe they were a slander. Maybe it was kind of like getting Kavanaugh. We've seen that, it's kind of thrown around a lot, with Pete Hegseth, with a lot of these other places or other people being nominated, that a lot of kind of sketchy, abuse concerns have been coming out. And I don't know. Do you think this is kind of the playbook is to run smear campaigns on these people? Or, man, is Trump just really bad at picking people to serve in his cabinet?
It might be a little bit of both. Yeah, it does seem like it seems like character attacks against your enemies have become the go-to strategy these days. But, yeah, again, it seems like Trump has a little bit of trouble appointing people sometimes, so maybe a little bit of both.
Well, we'll certainly see. I'll be curious to see kind of what the nature of his show is. It looks like OAN is really taking kind of a bigger step towards the Trump right with this move. I mean, in a lot of ways, this makes sense. Trump just won the election. You want somebody on your staff who's running a show who's going to talk about this from like an inside MAGA perspective. Who better to do that than a failed senator?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Washington really is the land of opportunities, even if not directly.
Thank you so much for watching that short. If you enjoyed it, there's a link down below to the full-length video, the new Right broadcast. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Thanks for watching.